Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I am Chali with Creations by Chali, and I just want to thank you for spending a little bit of your morning with me this morning. I hope you're doing well. We'll try not to go too long, but today we're going to do a Santa hat. If you remember here a few weeks ago, I took this form from the Dollar Tree and we made a witch hat. But there's so many other things that you can do with it. I made these two hats last week, and you can tell they're so lightweight, you can just use a push pin to hang them up. So, and they're both made with, this one's made with burlap, the red and black, and then this one is just made with the buffalo check fabric mesh. Today we're going to make one in the traditional colors of red and white. You can do this in any color you want to. You can embellish it any way you want to. Let's just kind of go over things that you're going to need. Ed makes me very nervous when he starts fiddling with the camera, and then he does. So give me a thumbs up if you still see me and hear me. Okay, so let me go over the things you're going to need today. You're going to need this dollar witch hat from the Dollar Tree. If you cannot find this hat, and I know the Dollar Tree sells out of them really fast, I actually ordered a case of them. So if you're local and you want to try this and you need a hat, just message me. If you're not local and you need these hats, I probably have 20 of them. So if you're willing to pay shipping, just message me, give me your zip code, and I can let you know how much shipping would be. I probably could get 5 or 6 in the same box for the same price. So anyway, you're going to need this hat. You're going to need some pipe cleaners, at least 2 zip ties. You're going to need red.
Jeannie says, good morning.
Good morning, Jeannie. Hope you're doing well. I know you're excited to get that packing out and try to get that to normal. This is loud, so let me unroll it now. But you can find this red mesh at Hobby Lobby. You just need red and white. I like the mesh for this project. I like the mesh that has like foil in it. Like I said, you could get both of these at Hobby Lobby. Try to get the premium, the better mesh, so it's not so thin. If you make a lot of wreaths, or you plan to make a lot of wreaths, maybe Christmas gifts or something, check out craftoutlet.com, where you would pay, even when you get the mesh at Dollar Tree, you would pay, not Dollar Tree, I don't like Dollar Tree mesh, let me put that out there, Hobby Lobby. Their Christmas mesh is pretty good, especially this foil. This actually came from Crowd Outlet, and I paid $4.50 for it. Even on sale, you're going to pay probably $5 or $6 at Hobby Lobby, but that's okay. If you're just going to make one hat or so, you can see, I hear my phone ringing, that's okay. You can see it didn't take not even a half a roll, and I've already got my white mesh cut. Okay, if you make quite a few wreaths, I recommend that you not cut your mesh with scissors. You need to invest in what they call a rotary cutter. It's over with the scissors and the fabric. It's used to cut fabric, but it puts a really clean cut on your mesh, and that's what will keep it from fraying, is if your cut is good and clean. Okay, you're going to need just some snips to snip off your wire and your scissors, of course. A little bit of wire. Ribbon. I'm using the same ribbon. Remember, we made this bow last week. I'm going to use this bow. So in the bottom of it, I'm going to use the same ribbon. And then if you want to do like a little Santa thing at the top, you're going to need one of these little fuzz balls. And I got it from Hobby Lobby. It was in the Christmas crafts. It's like $5, and then you get 40% off of that. And then whatever type of embellishments. I think I'm going to add this little cute pick to the bow. And I may not add these glitter balls. There again, you can get these in the holiday sections. They come in all different colors, and if it's not a Christmas color right now or a fall color, say you wanted black or pink or blue, they usually carry these over with the party supplies. And a glue gun, and that's pretty much all you'll need. All right, I've already got the white cut. But what we're going to do with, well, first thing we've got to do is take this black stuff off of here. It's not difficult to do. It's got little nubs on the ends. You just have to get it started and just tear it, and it can get messy. And then it's just around the nub. So you can just take it and undo it around each nub, backwards and forwards. Only takes a minute. Remember, with our witch hat, we left this black on. And if you were using something black, I think I probably left it on for this one. But I don't think I did that one. But I'm afraid you'd be able to see it with this red top mesh. So we're going to pull the boo off and throw it away. So you're just going to unwrap it, and you're going to be left with a plastic frame. And just, it comes off real easy. If you want to keep it for another project, fine, but I don't particularly like this type of tinsel because it just, once you cut it, it sheds really bad. So that's the end of that one. If you were using black at the bottom, you wouldn't have to take off the bottom, but we're using white. So we're going to also have to strip this down to where it's nothing but, let's find where it gets going. There it is. Where it's nothing but a plastic frame. And usually you can find where it starts. If not, you just cut a piece and go from there. Let's see if we can find where it starts. See, it gets real messy, or it can get real messy if you don't find the end of it. There we go. There again, same thing. Just unwrap it from the little knob things. And you can see it's getting everywhere, which is why I don't really like to use it. I used it a little bit right here and wrapped my pipe cleaners just to cover them. Doesn't take that long, really, unless you wrap the wrong way. Or unwrap the wrong way, I guess you'd say. So we're just going to pull all of this off. And throw it away. And that's what you have left. All right, I'm going to see about getting all this off my mat. I'll probably end up with half of it in the floor. Like I said, we're going to do the basic Santa hat. So we're going to put red on the top. Now leave your little hanger that it has. I always try to leave it rather than try to put another hanger on. It's just a little bitty piece of string right there. Okay, so what you're going to do, take your red.
Sheila James says good morning.
Good morning, Sheila. We're going to, I'm just going to throw it on the floor, but we're going to take it. You're going to have to fold it a couple of times because you want it thick. I think last year, I believe I have done one of these in just the little 6-inch mesh also. All right, turn your frame over and you're going to attach the end of it. Here's where you're going to use one of your pipe cleaners. And just right here at the top, find one of those bars. You're not going to see this pipe cleaner, so just put it through there. This is just to get it going. Make sure you go around at least one bar. And zip it tight.
Karen Hunter says good morning.
Good morning. I'm so glad y'all joined me this morning. Hopefully we won't take up too much of your day. Ed will read the comments if you have any questions. Now when you start to wrap this, All right, you just want to make sure that you've covered those little knobs. So even to get it started, I'm going to leave, I don't know if you can see, but I'm going to leave just a little bit of the end here because I'm going to put one of those fuzzy balls right on the end. So just take your mesh and get it in your hands. And you want to start, you don't want these edges at the top. So when you start wrapping, I'm going to have to turn it the other way so that I don't have those edges. You want to be able to cover up those edges. So I'm going to start like this. Hopefully that makes sense. See how I want those edges at the bottom because they'll be covered. And I want my folded edge at the top. So I'm going to cover up that end and just get started. And I probably should have put my mesh on the other side of me. All right. As you're wrapping, see I've left a little bit of black here that I can see when I get ready to put my pom-pom on the top. And when you have the folded edge, it's just a neater. You can wrap one of these with ribbon. I like the 2-inch ribbon. Okay, so you're just gonna overlap a little bit. Make sure it's thick enough on the ends that it covers up that little knob. And if it doesn't, go back over it again. And then you just keep wrapping, covering up what you just wrapped. Now this solid color mesh, it's no big deal, but if you have a pattern or if you're using something with stripes, then you want to make sure that it's straight looking. Okay, so we're just gonna keep wrapping, pulling it tight, wrap it all the way down to the bottom, making sure that that folded edge is there and that it's thick enough. Sometimes it'll get hung on these little knobs and that's okay. You could go to the trouble of cutting them off if you want to, but I don't. I just pull it tight and keep wrapping. If you end up with a little give, you can always go back and pull it tighter from the back. Oh, you know what I didn't do? I didn't pull out my little, okay, start. I didn't pull out my little hanger, and it's so much easier to make sure your hanger is out. So see, when you mess up, you just start again. I got to find that little hanger and make sure it's sticking out, and it's usually within your first couple of wraps. Because it's hard to find those. See, there it is right there. So you're just going to take it and pull it up and hold it. It was like on my third wrap. So I'm going to hold it and then wrap around it. I feel like I'm working backwards. All right, see how the hanger's there now? That will make sure that your hat hangs evenly too. So let's just go back and just keep wrapping. Yeah, it's still there. So my mesh had already kind of conformed to it. I don't worry about making sure all the little loop things are exactly the same. Like I said, you would want to if this was a pattern. But when it's a solid color, don't worry about it. And it doesn't take a whole lot of mesh either. You're not going to use, you probably could take one roll of mesh and make about, I don't know, 4 hats. You see why I like the foil? It makes it really pretty and glittery. You're going to wrap all the way down to the base, pulling it tight. It gets a little crazy right at the very bottom, but usually it's going to be covered up with the white mesh anyway.
Judy said she cut her knobs off on a candy corn hat she made with burlap. And
Yeah,
she thinks yours looks good.
I have cut them off before, and then I realized you really don't have to, depending on what you're using. And especially like at the bottom, it kind of helps with the pipe cleaners. Okay, you want to make sure that you come down to this bottom line right here where it starts the fullness. And then you're just going to pull it tight, cut off this mesh. Well, you could tie wrap it first. Let's tie wrap it. Make sure you're using that rail to tie wrap the bottom of it and keep it from coming undone. And just pull it really tight. Snip that off. All right, now you can cut your red. We're not going to use it anymore, and I'll show you how much of it I have left. Okay, push your zip tie in where it doesn't have anything sharp on the door. Okay, so there's what we have. There's a little bit of fullness right there, but I can fix that later with a little glue, and it may not even show by the time I get the white down here. So let's see. Yeah, look how much you have left on the roll of red. You have a lot. Again, don't cut your mesh with scissors if you can help it. Use a rotary cutter or use a what they call a wood burning tool. I like using the wood burning tool. And that I cut all my white mesh yesterday, so y'all didn't have to sit here and watch me cut the mesh. I'm not sure I have enough pieces, but we'll see. I'll cut some more if I don't. Okay, so this is what you've got so far. You've got your top wrapped. Then I start here at the bottom, and I take pipe cleaners, the same color as whatever kind of mesh you're going to use. And you can see with this one, I actually used cream color burlap. And then with this one, I used some of the black and white that I put at the top and regular white, and I added like silver glitter balls. So let's see, I don't need these little short pieces. There again, I usually don't know for sure how many pieces I'm going to put on here. It kind of depends on your mesh and how well it covers, but I know you need, I start with putting one at both ends of the hat, and I usually wrap it around one of those little knobs and just give it a couple of twists. So I'm going to the very corner here and going in between and putting a pipe cleaner. If you put it around one of the little knobs, it just helps hold it tight right there. Okay. Then I'm going to put one in the middle, and that's this top bar. And just twist it a couple of times. Then I'm going to put one on each side about halfway. And so far that gives us 4. I think I cut 8 pieces of mesh. It really doesn't take that long to make one. Okay, so I'm just guessing here. For these, I'm going to use both of these bars, this one and this one, and put one right here, but twist it towards the bottom to fill in that spot. And then I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I have used as few as 6 before, but since this is white. Okay, I'm probably going to put one here and here. I'm kind of going in between those two. So that would be 4 on the top and 4 on the bottom is what I'm doing. You just want this part to be full so you don't see the frame. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's actually 9. I don't think I have but 8 pieces cut, but we'll cut another one. Okay. Well, it's going to be 10 because I'm going to add one right here. There's a good bit of space there. You can do as few or as many as you want to do because you have plenty of material. Well, let's make it an even 10. Okay. So then what I'm going to do is I have cut my white mesh at 20 inches. And what I'm going to do is just take it and flip it over, and I'm going to ruffle. Sometimes you might have to lay something on the end of it. And to ruffle, I usually just turn under the very edge. That just helps keep the fraying. And then you're just going to bring it towards you and ruffle it like this. And then I'm going to start at the very end. And on these, I like to put up and down. The ones on the very end. I just like it better. And you're going to pull tight, twist it about 3 times. 3 or 4 times. Okay. Then I'm going to go to the next one, do the same thing. And this is this is probably my favorite method. I love the ruffle. There again, these are cut to 20 inches. A lot of people like the curls. It's not one of my favorite ones at all. So this one is going to go sideways like this. Same thing, just find your pipe cleaner, push it in there, give it a good pull and twist a couple of times. Okay, and then go to your next one. Deco mesh does fray. That's where the wood burning tool helps, but nothing will stop it totally. And the more you handle it and fiddle with it, the more it'll fray. I just wait and cut off edges at the end. That's why I turn it under a little bit so those frayed edges are not showing. Get it in the middle. Pull this one up a little bit and just put the other one in there. And I'm just going down the line, whether they're on the top or the bottom. You could actually, see, this makes a pretty good ruffle at the bottom. But you could actually probably use the 6-inch and it wouldn't stand up so high. All right, so now I'm going to put one there. Turn it under. And then just ruffle. Do y'all have any questions so far? I keep pushing that away. Okay, since Ed keeps pushing my sign up there, I would really appreciate it if y'all would share this to your page. I'm not giving away a freebie today, so I can say the word share. It actually helps me grow my business, more people to see my page. But it also makes it easier for you. If you want to make a Santa hat, it makes it very easy for you to go back and look on your page and find this video that you can stop and start. It will also be on YouTube. If you want to look up any of my videos, you can go to YouTube and just type in Creations by Gwili, and all the lives that I have done, except for one, is on there. The one, I think it was the second live we ever did, I showed you how to do some ink with some stencils with Magnolia Design. I did dish towels, I think. And I guess I pushed the wrong button. I didn't save it because it's not even on my phone anymore. But all the other videos are on there. We've done some really cool things. The rag Christmas trees was a big hit. Everybody thoroughly enjoyed that. And they're very simple to make. All right, can you see what I'm doing? I'm just finding the next pipe cleaner, pushing this aside. But you see how when you touch it, how it ravels a little bit? Really and truly with this, it's no big deal because you're going to put some ribbons on there too. And then you just go back and touch it up when you're finished. Okay. Almost done. I think we have 4 more. I'm going to have to cut another one. You can use this method, the ruffle method. I use it on my wreaths a lot. You take a 14-inch wreath from the Dollar Tree, put 18 twist ties around it. There are 6 different little sections, and you put 3 twist ties in each section. And then you just fill the whole wreath with the ruffles. It's really pretty. Like I said, it's one of my favorites. I don't particularly like the curls. All right, I gotta make sure I got the right zip tie there. But you can see where the white doesn't have as much sparkle to it as the red, but it does have some, and it's pretty. I probably could have got away with just doing 8 pipe cleaners, but we're gonna do the 10. Just makes it super full. You want it full enough that you don't see that black frame underneath it. And if you were going, there's several different ways to embellish these. You could put a bow at each end and in the middle. I've done that too. You wouldn't have to put the fuzzy pom-pom at the top. You could put a bow. You just need to be creative. Crafting's supposed to be fun. These make great little gifts. And like I said, if you can't find the hats and you want some, just message me. I think I've got 20 something. And I'll just charge you what I paid for them, $1 a piece. Plus shipping. Unless you're local. Then I'll bring it to you or you can pick it up.
Jenny wants to know if you got a favorite brand name glue gun. She's looking to invest in a battery operated.
You know, I had wasn't battery operated. I had a cordless one, and I forgot the name brand of it. But honestly, I didn't like that particularly one very well because it dripped. It seemed like really bad, and it had too big of a tip on it. I'm going to need to cut 2, I guess. This one I like because it's a sure bonder. Now you have to plug it in, but it's got settings for high and low. And low settings is enough to do just about any craft, and it doesn't burn you. And it doesn't drip when it's just sitting there. Okay, I'll show you how I cut my mesh. Now, if one of these days maybe I'll do a thing on the wood burner and show you how that does. But we're just going to use and I've got my mat turned around backwards. So I'm going to go from 24 to 4. Now I know that's 20 inches. Make sure you have a sharp blade and always close your rotary cutter after you've used it. Oh, how many did I say I needed? 3? 2. Let's do another one. I have seen, I believe Ryobi makes a battery operated. Now, any of them that are battery operated are going to take those big batteries, and it's going to be a little heavy. But I thought I wanted a cordless, but it turned out I didn't really like it. Okay, I've got one that's got to go across, and then we've got the one on the end that I'm going to go up and down. Like I said, these are so versatile because you can decorate it any way you want to. Like I said, you can use the burlap and make it more of a country Santa hat. Like I said, you don't have to do the traditional red and white. Alright, this is the last one, and I think you can see it is plenty full that it's not going to show our frame underneath there. Now you decide how you want to embellish it. But the first thing we're going to do is to put the little fuzzy ball at the top. So I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you get 8 for like $3, and they're just little soft. And I'm going to use my wire. You could just glue it on there if you wanted to, but I like to know for sure it's not going to come off. And I'm thinking I was just able to get that wire to go through here. Hopefully I can. This wire's not real thin, thick. Okay. You just kind of have to work it a little bit where you don't go through such a big. So what I'm going to do is just, I've got the wire through and twist it. And then what I'm going to do is go inside to where I know I'm going through that frame. To the back. You can just do one side. And then I'm going to put some glue right at the top. Kind of inside the hat, all around the outside of the hat. Just to glue this little fuzz ball on there. And push it in to where it looks like it's part of your hat. So you've got the glue holding it, plus we've got the wire. I'm just going to hold it for a minute and then turn it over. And just twist my wire. Pull the wire tight and just twist it a couple of times and cut it off. Push any of the excess back down into your, so you barely see it there, but just take it, put it back through the mesh so there's nothing sharp sticking out there. Okay, see that? Then you can just squish it a little bit. But it's on there. I think I want some more glue right here at the bottom. There again, you get sparkles all over the place. I did one of the little rag Christmas trees the other day for a gift, and I picked up some ribbon at Hobby Lobby that kind of looked like lace, but it also, I was using snowman material. It also had a glitter on it that I thought would be really pretty. Oh my gosh. I had glitter, because I tried to cut it. Well, I did cut it, just like the strips of my material, and then tie it on that rod. I had glitter all over me, in my hair, on my face, all over the mat, in the floor. There's probably still glitter here in the kitchen. Okay, so that's what we've got so far. You could leave it like that if you wanted to. I am going to, let's see, we're going to put the bow that we made last week. I showed you how to do this bow. I am going to put the bow right here on this side. So I am going to put some ribbon probably in every other before I put the bow on. So I'll get my ribbon. I actually ordered this ribbon. Hobby Lobby has some great Christmas ribbon, so just pick out something. I don't want the real thick like this. I don't want the 2.5 inch. I want the 1.5 inch. This actually came from a place called the Wreath Shop. And I'm going to cut it about 13 inches. And I don't know how many I want. I know I want at least 3. We said we had, what, 10 zip ties, but I'm not going to use all 5 of every other one, I don't think. All right, I'm just going to start out. This is the way I craft. I have an idea in my head of sort of what I want, and then I change it as I go. All right, I'm going to dovetail the ends. I'm doing 2 pieces at one time, which is just folding them in half and go from the fold out. And depending how deep you go as to how sharp your V is. So, okay, I know I'm going to put, all right, the bow's going to go there. So I think I'll put the ribbon there. And there. And then I think there's 2 more down here. So I probably will cut another piece. All right, I'm just going to fold it, scrunch it in the middle. And these were cut at 13 inches. And then I'm just going to take my twist tie. I don't open it back up. I don't know if you can see, but I just take it where it is, and I'm going to put that ribbon in there and then just twist it really tight. I'm not going to cut off my ties yet because I may put a glitter ball on the end of those. I don't know. You could actually buy the little red ornaments and put hot glue an ornament in there. All right, I know I want one there and one on this side. Fold it, just scrunch it, lay it on the top of your twist tie.
Mary Ann Miller said, sorry about coming in late. How long is your mesh cut?
It's 20 inches. The white is 20 inches. And it's 10.5 inches. It's a roll of white mesh. And you can always go back and catch the replay, Mary Ann, and watch it from the beginning. Okay, I am going to put, I think I'm going to put one on each of these. You just kind of have to go with it as you're making it. And that's the way I kind of do my wreaths. I just bring out a whole bunch of accessories or whatever and fix it until I like it. Okay, so I am for sure going to cut another one. And I'm going to put the bow on before I decide if I'm going to put more on those top ones. Because I have those glitter balls too. And then plus I'm going to add this little pick into the bow. So it may be enough with just a few ribbons. So basically I think what I did is add a ribbon to every one of those that I put on that bottom row. But I may go back and add a few more. We'll see. Once I get the ribbon attached. Okay. Lost my pipe cleaner. There it is. You could have used red pipe cleaners on this. It would make it easier to see, but harder to cover up if you don't want your pipe cleaners to show. All right, so we're going to put the bow on before I decide if I'm going to put any more up here. Because the bow's a little big. And it's going to squish down some of that. So this can be the tricky part sometimes. Let's see. How do I want it to fit? Trying to get the pipe cleaner through the mesh, because you don't want to just attach it to mesh. You want it to hit. You want it to go through and get around a piece of that frame. You can use the outside, but you've got to have at least one punched through all of that deco mesh. So, okay, I got one. There's the other one. I may see if I can just, at least for now, put it around the side. And you don't want to pull it too tight, because you want it to kind of be sitting. You don't want it squished too much. It'd get lost down in there. That may be a little too tight. Just pull it up a little bit. You want it kind of floating on top of your mesh. We don't have too much more. I was looking at the time. I don't like my videos to be longer than an hour, because I know everybody's busy. And like I said, I'd appreciate it if you would share this to your page and invite your friends. And if you're watching this on replay, you can still share it. Okay. So I'm just going to twist this. Once you know it's where you want it, you just twist it all the way to the end. And I'm going to like put it here. You don't want anything sharp on the back side. So I'm just going to take this and twist it around that wire. Not the wire, but the frame. The plastic frame to secure it. Still,
Hold it up.
still have the hanger. Okay, I just squished the bow, but so far that's what we've got. And you just play with it and fluff your bow. All right, we're gonna add, all right, we definitely are gonna put more ribbon on it, and then I'll decide if I'm gonna put those glitter balls on it or not. So what I'm gonna do with this pick, I could take it apart, but I don't think I'm going to. And this was a pick from Hobby Lobby, because I hate how they put their prices right on the product. Okay, so I think I'll cut that stem off once I decide what I'm gonna do. But I think I'm just gonna put it down there in there and let it be coming out the top. Or if I cut them off, I could glue each one. Maybe that's what I'll do. Let's see if I can pull it apart. Sometimes they're just wrapped a little bit. So, but I'm gonna snip them like this. I could cut off all that glitter probably and just unwrap the thing, but I believe they're gonna be long enough to use like this. And what I like to do usually when I'm adding things is, I'm going to stand up. Just kind of find where I want them to go. In my bow. I like to do things kind of in a triangle. Okay, I think that's what I'm going to do. So I probably will use the glitter balls since this is glittery. So I've just picked a couple of spots and the glue gun doesn't want to come that far. And I'm just going to put a bunch of glue on this and stick it down in there. Hold it a second. Then I'm going to put a bunch of glue all over that one. Put it right down in here. Mesh is really good if you want to put stuff in it. It holds. It's got a good thing to like glue to. But actually I'm gluing this to the actual ribbon bow. Of course, you're constantly fluffing your bow. That's just part of it. Okay. Woo! I put my finger in the glue. Didn't know it was there. Okay. It was more of a surprise than a burn. Okay.
Turn it over and see.
Okay, that's what we have so far. But you can see I still have a whole lot of white here that I am going to go put ribbon tails. So I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 5 more. I hope I have enough ribbon. Yeah, I do. All right, so I'm going to do 5 more at 13 inches. I have ribbon tail measuring things. I just didn't pull them out because I didn't think I was going to cut that many. 3, 4, 5. Ribbon is very expensive, and that's how you add cost to your wreath very quickly. Mesh, not so much, but boy, when you start putting a lot of ribbon, the price goes up. Ribbon and flowers. I've done a couple of grapevine wreaths with, oh, probably at least $50 worth of flowers on them. That's where you start spending your money. But you want good quality ribbon. It's hard to make a bow if your ribbon is not good and wired and make good loops. We talked about that last week. Okay. Same thing, just kind of get the middle and squish. Okay, I'm wondering, what did I use? I used 4, and if I said 5, then there's one ribbon tie somewhere that we're not putting a tail on. We may have to find it and use it. You could put more than one ribbon. And not use glitter balls, or, of course, your ribbon, you just want to take your fingers and make it kind of curl. These would, of course, there's not many craft shows anymore, but these would be good sellers at craft shows and stuff. And what's so nice about them, you can see I just have these here with a push pin. They're good for dorm rooms and office places because they're so lightweight. They're not huge, but they're very colorful. And the reason I'm not cutting off my pipe cleaners is because I'm going to come back and add those glitter balls to the ends of the pipe cleaners. Okay, there's the one. So I'm probably going to cut one more, and that way they all have ribbon tails on them. We had 10 pipe cleaners, so we end up with 10 ribbon tails. Let's do one more, and then we'll add the glitter balls, and we'll be done. It's easier when you finish your project. It's so much easier just to have somewhere to hang it and then fluff your bow and decide how you want your ribbon tails to go and maneuver them. Okay, see, that's really colorful, and I may turn those tails up a little bit, but there we go. All right, now I'll show you what you do with these. They're called fillers. And these are just red glitter balls, and they're styrofoam. So, and they come in a couple of sizes. I'm going to use probably all big ones. And what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to cut the pipe cleaners. Let me start over here so I don't miss any. I'm going to cut the pipe cleaners just a little bit because these just go on the ends. So just cut them off a little bit, and then you just take the glitter ball. Now I'll go back after the live and glue all these on, but you just stick it on there and it goes right in. And then we're going to put another one there. It keeps wanting to slip out of my fingers. So it just adds a little sparkle. All right, let's get two more. And that's how you just go around and cut your pipe cleaners a little shorter. This way you don't have to try to hide the pipe cleaners. They're part of the design. You could have just stopped with a ribbon and then twisted your pipe cleaners and like tucked them back. Some people take a pencil, make the pipe cleaners part of their design, and just twirl them. If you had used red pipe cleaners, you could do that, and then that would be a little pop of red. But this is just personal preference, and that's where you get to be creative and do what you enjoy and what you like the looks of. Trying to escape on me. The glitter balls, I think they're like $4.99, but if you get the red or silver over in the like Christmas section, it's 40% off. Very seldom do they put them on sale in the party section. In fact, I wanted black for this one. Couldn't find black anywhere, so I had to go with silver. Because, of course, they didn't have black in the party section or in the holiday section. While I'm doing this, I will tell you, unless the Lord changes my mind, next week I'm going to show you how to make those wooden snowmen. And someone's actually going to win one of the stencils I use for it. But that's the plan for next week.
Brenda Bracken shared.
Thank you, Brenda. said, even if you're watching this on replay, I'd appreciate that you like and follow my business page and share my videos. And now next week I won't be able to say that word because I'm going to be giving away something. And that's what Facebook says, you know, they don't want you saying the word share. If it's, people have to do it to win a prize. So people use things like sprinkled and stuff like that. This might not would have went over an hour if I hadn't have had to redo the top after forgetting to pull the hanger out. And I may spread these out a little bit when I go back to glue them on and stuff, but you understand. It just gives it that little bit of added sparkle in spots. You could leave them really long if you wanted to. I just don't like them to sit up much on the mesh. But there again, that's just a personal preference. That's one thing I like about crafting. You could watch 3 people make a Santa hat and they all would do it a little different. And that's okay. There's no right, there's no wrong.
Jeannie says sprinkle means share. I've been wondering what that meant.
Yeah, sprinkle means share, that they've shared. Because Facebook doesn't like you to use that word if you're trying to get people to do it and say they win something. It's fine if you're not giving away a gift. And next week we will be. Maybe even the week after that. I've got some stencils from Magnolia Designs that I intend to give away. There's some really cute Christmas stencils out. Okay. Gosh, I appreciate y'all hanging with me so long today. But here we go, and like I said, when I hang it up, I'll refluff and rearrange and get the bow to where it's the way it's supposed to be. And when I sell something and I package it up, I always put tissue paper in the loops of my bows because, you know, people are not sure how to fluff things. I see I got some glitter on the white. Okay, so there we go. So who would have thought, you know, that you could take that ugly black boo frame and make something pretty? But there's so many things that you can do with those frames. And like I said, if you're interested in purchasing them, you can't get them at your Dollar Tree, just message me. If you're willing to pay for shipping, I will be happy to send you some. So that's it for today. I think I'm done with this. I will relook at it when I hang it up before I put it on the Etsy shop or whatever. Now I have red glitter everywhere. And like I said, next week we're going to be doing, you want to go get one of those snowmen off the bed? The wooden, yeah. They're going to be on my Etsy store. They're in a set of 2, but I'm going to show you how I painted them and how I did them and everything. But I think that's probably what we'll do next week. So, you know, invite your friends to come follow. They're very quick and easy to do. Thank you. And there again, you can use your imagination. There's a lot of different ways you can decorate them. All right, this was today. This is what's going to be next week. Just 2x4s, painted and decorated. And you do them any size you want to do. I think this is like 12 and 10 or something like that. So we're going to do these next week, and someone is going to, I can't draw a straight line, y'all, so I have a stencil that does the face. So somebody's going to win that stencil next week. So I will see y'all next Wednesday. thank you again for spending your time with me, and I hope you have a blessed day. Bye.